I've been chit-chatting now for several weeks, the month of September, about how to get and stay sober. If you haven't noticed a theme, this is the theme for the month. I'm going to tell you at the end. If I told you at the beginning, you might not have watched. So how do you get long-term sobriety? One day at a time. When I was newly sober, before I was sober, I flew myself to a treatment center in 1993, August 2nd, 1993. I actually flew into Palm Springs on August 1st, 1993. I flew in and they picked me up from the airport. I was a hot mess and I was so sick. The guy, the little old man, what was his name? Oh my God, this man was wonderful. He must have been 89. And he picked me up from the airport in his little Betty Ford outfit. And he took me straight to the bar and got me a drink because he was worried I was going to go into seizure right there, even though I had been drinking on the plane. So I had my last drink right there at the Palm Springs airport. And then I got in the car with him, a big Betty Ford van, and we drove to Betty Ford. And I was like, oh my God, what did I do? Start sobering up and I was like, shit, what did I do? This seemed like such a good idea. And I got there and I went in and I sat down and I went because I was doing an enormous amount of cocaine. I'd been living outside of the country in the Caribbean and I had really, lucky I survived. And so I came back and, really what I had been doing was I was a raging alcoholic and I was using my cocaine to not black out. It was keeping me from blacking out because I was a blackout drinker, very dangerous. And I would black out for long periods of time, like a week at a time. Never longer than a week, but a week was my longest time. It was very scary. So I went into Betty Ford and I sat down and the woman doing my admission said, okay, blah, 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 you're here for alcoholism. I said, no, I'm a cocaine addict. Now, isn't that funny that I'd rather be a cocaine addict than an alcoholic? Talk about ego, right? So anyway, I didn't know what alcoholism was. So I didn't know it was all the same problem. You're just treating it with different substances. And she said, well, I think you're an alcoholic. Apparently, I'm looking at you and you seem to be very sick. And she started talking a little bit about the program. And I said, wait a minute. Are you saying this is a program of abstinence? I'm not going to drink again? And she looked at me and she said, well, yes, that's what sobriety is. You're going to quit drinking and learn to live sober. And I said, I guess I thought they were going to treat me to drink like other people, like ladies. If I quit doing cocaine, this alcohol was not going to be a problem. That's what I thought. Sorry, my phone's ringing again. Let me turn it off. Okay, so that was really what I thought. And, oh God, that really jumps the track for me when someone calls me when I'm doing this. Okay, so Betty Ford. Oh, so she says to me, I said, I can't quit drinking forever. I said, forever? I said, what am I going to do when I get married? And she said, oh, are you engaged? I said, no. Do you have a boyfriend? No. She said, well, when are you getting married? Oh, well, that's not the point, I said. And I said, what about New Year's Eve? It was August. She said, it's only August. And I go, well, what am I going to do? How am I going to get through New Year's Eve? And she said, well, why don't we just worry about today? Why don't we just stay in the day? And I did. And that made sense to me. You can future trip and you can start really screwing your mind up with this alcoholism. Your alcoholism is going to try to get you to leave. Today I'm talking about long-term sobriety. How do you achieve long-term sobriety? One day at a time. That's it. To me, long-term sobriety, and this comes from a woman who relapsed after 14 years. I had what they consider long-term sobriety. And I relapsed and drank again. And then things got really, really bad. Okay, I didn't think they could get worse. They did. It's a progressive illness, and it progresses even when you're not drinking. Scary, I know. So, this long-term sobriety is to me, whoever woke up earliest today has the longest sobriety. I don't give much merit to time anymore. I give merit to experience. There are people that I know that have 1 year sobriety that have been helping people and involved in AA and taking people through the steps and driving people to 5th steps and really involved in the program, that have more experience than people with 20 years that go to 1 meeting a week and never help anybody. So I really put my emphasis on experience. The experience you get in Alcoholics Anonymous and living working this design for living that really works in every area of your life is an experience you don't want to miss. And you will gain experience helping others. Consistency is key. So what you're fighting now when you get sober to get long-term sobriety is you think you're fighting the family. You think you're fighting your work, right? Your work is trying to get you drunk. You think you're fighting not being able to go to the river in the summer. You think you're fighting New Year's Eve. You think you're fighting going to weddings. You think you're fighting going to the grocery store, and there's, in California, every aisle is alcohol. You can go to the drugstore and there's alcohol. You think it's all of that, and it's not. The thing that will get you to drink again is your thinking. Not your husband's thinking, your wife's thinking, your parents, your children, your job, your money, you lost your home, you lost your car. It's none of that. It's your thinking. It's not so much what happens to you in life, it's how you respond to it, right? As an alcoholic, we have screwed up thinking. I always say this. People in Alcoholics Anonymous, if you go to an Alcoholics Anonymous anywhere in the world, I don't care where you go, and you go into Alcoholics Anonymous, there are 2 kinds of people in there. Those trying to get in the program and those trying to get out. Think about it. My mind, now that I'm sober, is constantly looking for a way to get out of here. My alcoholism does not stop. It didn't go away. It's constantly looking for the negative. It's constantly looking to see how long someone shares. It's constantly looking at how bad the coffee is, how high the air conditioning is, but the carpet is so dirty in here, right? I hate this meeting because of this. I hate this meeting. Oh, someone didn't call on me. They ran out of time. Someone made fun of my share. Someone didn't say hi to me. And I'm gonna leave, okay? That's what you're up against. You're up against the meetings are boring. I don't wanna go anymore. I'm so busy. My children need me. I owe this, da-da-da-da. I'm getting a second job. I'm going back to school. I'm gonna start working out. That's what you're up against. The devil is not out there. It's not on a shelf. It's not in a vodka bottle. It's not in a needle. It's not in a pipe. It's not in a prescription jar. It's not over the counter. It's in your head. Until you understand that, and a lot of people don't understand it until they relapse and have to come back, or something very bad happens and they realize their thinking is the problem. When you start doing the same things sober that you did loaded. See, it's nice when you're loaded because you can blame your bad choices on the drinking and the drugs. But when you get sober, your bad ideas and your bad choices are yours. They're this thing. See, we have an abnormal state of mind and body. And it's an abnormal mind that wants to tell you you're fine now and you don't have to go to meetings. I've seen people with 20 years, 30 years relapse. And it's very hard to make it back after that amount of time because your mind has progressed that the answer is the problem. So You don't want to mess around with this. This kind of thinking is Freddy Krueger kind of thinking. It just not wants to, it doesn't want to just take you out. It wants to take your family out, your finances out, your job, your marriage, your everything will be gone. Everyone is affected by this illness. So the problem with treating it is it's your own thinking that's going to get you to leave. You have to fight your own thinking. How do you do that? You must do it with a power greater than yourself. You have to have a power greater than yourself. Maybe that's the group of AA. Maybe that's God. Maybe that's spirituality for you. Maybe it's, I don't know what it is for you. It could be anything for you. It can be anything, but it cannot be your thinking. Your thinking got you to Alcoholics Anonymous or NA. Okay? So you cannot depend on that kind of thinking. So how do I look after this? I have to enlarge my spiritual condition on a daily basis. Is that all? Yes, that's all. Sounds easy, doesn't it? That means you've got to live 24 hours at a time, not only without drugs and alcohol, but without resentments, fears, and sex problems. You must ask God for help. You must be helpful to other people. Prayer and action are the key to long-term sobriety. It is not a puzzle. It is simple. Simple, but not easy. Prayer and action are the answer to your problem. I hope you stick around. I hope you make this your lifestyle. This is a way of living that really works. The rewards are enormous. If they weren't, I wouldn't be doing it. I would not be trying to help people if I didn't absolutely love the idea that my sordid past can help someone else. That my experience in helping is valuable and can be helpful to you and your family. I love you all. Thanks for watching today. Bye.